Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Monday with the Mayor at high noon, as we call it. I'm your mayor, Randy Halfaker, and again, it's a pleasure to have you with us today in the listening audience. And it is again a pleasure to have another very special guest that's been here before, and we've added another special guest to accompany Tia Williams today. But before we get into our program, which is going to be a very interesting program today, I don't think I need to give a weather update. I think everybody knows how the weather is outside, and here we are at Flight Deck Shopping Center at 107.9, and it is pouring down. So if it's not raining on your head or at your house or on your car at this minute, hang on. It will be shortly because it's a sail right over the town of Lexington that's dumping all this rain on us. It looks like maybe after today, it may begin to clear up some, or at least the chances of having these showers diminish. That's the good news. The bad news, if I guess it's bad news, is we're going to get into some of those summertime temperatures. It looks like tomorrow will be 90, and Wednesday we jump up to almost 100, and then Thursday we go down a few notches, a couple degrees, down to 97, and this weekend it looks like we may have a beautiful weekend. So we had a wet one this weekend. But with that, let me welcome our guest again. As you know, with this season we're having, in fact, I think the 1st of June starts hurricane season, and we've just recently had I guess it was a tropical storm that kind of skirted the South Carolina coast this past week. So it's about time to get ready for hurricane season. And in the town of Lexington, as well as throughout the state, we're trying to get together and make sure we're prepared for any kind of bad weather, and God forbid, but any kind of disaster that may show up at our front door. But here today to talk about a very interesting program. It's the upcoming Disaster Planning Symposium that the Lexington Young Professionals are putting on, which I think is a great thing, Tia. I think that's fantastic. But with me today is Tia Williams with ServPro. Tia was on a couple weeks back talking about the Red Cross and the golf tournament and young professionals and all the other things that she's involved in. And with her today, we have Paula Thayer, who is with the Red Cross. I think she deals with the major gifts of Red Cross, which Red Cross is one of those public agencies that we certainly couldn't do without, and not only here in the United States, but Red Cross is worldwide. So with that, welcome, ladies.
Hello. Thank you.
Tia was first, and Paula was second. So we're having to share a microphone here, so they're having to pass it back and forth. But Tia, let me start off with you. First of all, I really like the idea and the young professionals' idea about doing something for the community here, particularly here in Lexington, with the disaster preparedness symposium, which I believe is coming up maybe later this week. Can you tell us a little bit about the genesis of this event and what's going to happen?
Sure. Well, we've been planning these disaster symposiums across the country with my own organization, which is ServPro. We're a water and fire cleanup company that handles all size disasters from residential and now getting a lot more into large loss and storm cleanup. It's been about 5 years now that we've really gotten engulfed into storm cleanup on the national level, and I took a team of about 8 franchises out to the Outer Banks last year for Irene when that happened. Well, it was actually 2 years ago now. And then this past year we had our guys out at the Sandy cleanup up in New Jersey for almost 5 months. So we've learned a lot from these types of events. We've got 4 major storm leaders across the U.S. in the ServPro system that help with these types of responses. So just with all we've learned from this type of disaster planning, we wanted to use our partnership with the Red Cross and then with the people on my board with the Lexington Young Professionals who want to do more and give back and get involved in the community in a way that's just extending out from just our networking into a more service oriented type position, we want to be able to, put on something with the connections we have in the community with great leaders like Adjutant General Bob Livingston. His daughter is involved in Lexington Young Professionals, and we've got a lot of other people that have good insight. So we wanted to just organize it, do what we do best, which is, host events. And everybody jumped on board, and we wanted to do it pretty quickly before too much time had passed after the most recent storms, and also to coincide with hurricane season. So, and then Paula here with me has been able to really be helpful with all the stuff they do with the Red Cross, with our golf tournament the past couple of years. We've really become partners almost year round with a lot of things that we're working on. So we kind of taken a lot of their ideas too to put on an informative seminar that I think anybody can go and learn from.
Paula, you put on a pretty good golf tournament about a month ago with Tia. I'm sure that you're going to put on a great disaster symposium here in Lexington for us as well.
Well, actually, I have to give the credit to ServPro. They are the ones that organize the golf tournament. The proceeds do come to the American Red Cross, and I have to give them really huge kudos because last year we raised about $7,000, but this year we raised a little over $11,000.
Holy cow, that's fantastic.
So it was a big jump, and a lot of hard work went into it by the ServPro folks as well as the American Red Cross. But we could not do the things that we do without partners like ServPro. And the golf tournament was something that, they came up with the idea of doing it and approached us, and we have joined forces. We have also just recently joined forces with them nationally. They have become a ready rating partner with the American Red Cross. Excuse me. And what that means is that they help us fund programs where we can go into organizations, schools, and businesses and help them prepare for disasters before they occur. And the Red Cross is 100% donor supported. So everything that we do, we have to pay for with donor dollars. So for them to partner with us both nationally and locally is a huge thing for us.
The Red Cross, Paula, my sister-in-law is involved with the Red Cross, and I guess during the Christmas holidays when the family got together for Christmas dinner, she was with us, and she was talking about the schedules that they have to go through, and many times they're kind of called on a moment's notice that you have 24 hours to get ready to go to wherever, and it's amazing the sacrifices and all the different kind of functions that Red Cross puts on, from financial support to taking care of food, to taking care of the babies that are involved. It is a major operation.
It absolutely is, and we have several different aspects to what we do. But one of the big things, and especially something that we're focusing on right now, is our disaster volunteers. Most people don't know that the American Red Cross is not a national organization that is funded by the federal government. We are not a government agency. We are 100% donor supported. And because of that, we do need a lot of help from the community. 98% of our workforce in this area is volunteer. As a result of that, 91 cents of every dollar donated is put back into the humanitarian services that we provide. So we're very proud of the fact that we have such a huge contingent of just ready volunteers. To become a Red Cross volunteer, you have to go through the training that is provided in order for us to deploy you somewhere. Because if we deployed you unprepared, you're just one more person that we have to take care of.
That's right.
So we do encourage people, and we do get an influx of phone calls when there is a big disaster of people wanting to go. We love to send people, but we have to prepare them first. So if you are interested in volunteering, you can certainly go online to www.redcross.org and look at the volunteer opportunities there. Or you can call us at 540-1200 and ask for the volunteer coordinator, and they will be able to work with you on getting you in, getting you trained, so that the next time that a disaster occurs, you can be called at a moment's notice, and you usually do have about 24 hours to get ready and go. I normally would not be doing this interview. Our public affairs person, Anna Kate Twitty, would be doing it, but she is deployed to Oklahoma right now. So that's why I'm here.
Well, we're glad to have you here, Paul, and I was just kind of spellbound by the training and the involvement that really volunteers in our community, in this case a sister-in-law, that would actually devote their life to serving others, and that's kind of why we're here, is to help others, Paula.
That's true. And, I am employed by the Red Cross full time, but I am also a disaster volunteer. I have trained to do all of those things that I was talking about. I've also trained to be a liaison between the Red Cross and the EMD if a major occurrence occurred here in South Carolina. So there's a lot of things that we do that people don't know we do. But if you're, like I said, if you're the least bit interested, we would love to talk with you, because we have all kinds of areas of service, and you don't have to deploy to be a volunteer for the Red Cross. We have a number of people that work strictly in our office.
Let me make this comment before we take a short break, and we'll be back with Tia and Paula. But I like your tagline, Tia. It says, Disaster Symposium. Disaster recovery starts at home and in the local community. Be prepared. And being prepared is what the symposium this coming Friday, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back, but being prepared and how your emergency responders are prepared to help you in the town of Lexington and in the Lexington community is something that we'll be talking about once we return. So stay tuned. We'll be back in about a minute and a half or so.
Hello, I'm John Lithgow. Manatees are unique, among the most amazing animals on Earth, but they're endangered. We pose the greatest threat to their survival. Many manatees are killed or injured by boats or other recreational activities. I'm a writer of children's books, including one about manatees, and I believe education is the key. You can be part of the solution. Please contact Save the Manatee Club right now. Call 1-800-432-JOIN. Thank you.
Hi, this is Fire Prevention Officer Tony Signorino.
And this is Fire Inspector Jason Smith.
The Lexington County Fire Service wants you and your family to have a safe summer.
Install a working smoke alarm on every level of your home.
Have an emergency escape plan that includes at least 2 ways out.
Matches and lighters should be kept away, and children should never play with them.
Keep your barbecue grill clean and away from the siding of your home.
Fireworks are for adults. Never leave kids around them unsupervised.
Be safe this summer from your friends at the Lexington County Fire Service.
This is Dr. Tim Brokaw, the minister of Midlands Christian Church, a proud supporter of Lexington High School athletics on 107.9 WLXM. Have you noticed how much attention the undead are receiving? Zombies and vampires are on television and in the movies. Perhaps you feel like you're living a zombie existence. Come join us on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. and find out how your life can be much more than just Walking Dead. We're located on US 1 at Bar Road and online midlandschristian.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to Monday with the Mayor at high noon. And my guests today are Tia Williams and Paula Thayer. Tia is the president of the Lexington Young Professionals, and Paula is with the Major Gifts Program under the Red Cross, and we certainly are happy they joined me today. Tia, let's talk a little bit more about the event. I understand it's coming up Friday. Can you give us a little more details and who some of the speakers might be?
Sure. Well, we will be doing this at the Lexington Chamber building that's actually right on Main Street. It's their new building up on 311 Main Street. It's right across from Radius Church, and they've actually graciously offered their parking lot in the case that we do have a huge turnout and we need some overflow parking. So most people are familiar kind of where that area of Main Street is. But we've gotten a good team of people. Once the Adjutant General jumped on board, everybody else, the South Carolina Emergency Management Division's always been great about this kind of thing. They love doing these types of seminars and presentations. But it's a good team effort between, starting out with you yourself, the mayor, and the Chief Green is going to be kind of giving a quick overview of what the Lexington PD would be doing in the case of an emergency, and just segueing into why we want to work with these other organizations and why that teamwork is so important to save lives. The Adjutant General is really going to focus on what he's been doing all year long, which is hurricane safety, preparedness. He's been doing a lot of drills with the National Guard and really getting his armed forces up to speed in case something major happened. And we've got roads that we've got to work with. We've got a lot of externalities that are kind of out of the control of the everyday resident, but it's something we need to know about just because we need to be prepared as well. So he'll talk more about the broad information on evacuation, that kind of thing, and then we'll segue into the more detailed information that'll mostly be on, shelter information, how do you prepare for your family, your pets, and your kids, people with allergies and medication. And then the Red Cross will kind of take on after the Emergency Management Division to really talk about how to prepare. Like, they've got such a great package on, having a kit, being ready, what to do before, during, and after an emergency that they've done this so many times. It really does make a difference in terms of saving lives, and that's really where the importance comes down. I'll actually be doing a presentation after the fact, more on businesses. And with Serpro, what we do is we have our Emergency Ready program that is an app. It's actually called the Emergency Ready Plan, but the program itself will help any business free of charge prepare for a major emergency, because 50% of all businesses that go through most types of disasters will not open up 2 weeks after the event, and that's because they don't usually have a contingency plan that takes care of after the event happens. They have something usually leads up to it with emergency numbers and that kind of thing, but then they don't have something to be in contact with their customers and be able to get the business up and running. So I will handle that just from the private sector and how we work with the Red Cross and how we've improved on some of our storm capabilities. And then we'll have an opportunity for people to get, question and answer time in. I'll have a lot of other people there from some of the other organizations that take place in this type of, these types of events, but won't necessarily get to be panelists, but we'll be there to answer questions if people have them. And hopefully people just leave having a much better understanding of what to do in the case of any type of emergency. I mean, we'll focus on hurricanes, but really you've got to have that shelter information for any type of event. And heaven forbid if a terrorist attack happened here or something like that, we still have the same resources and social media links and communication tools to prepare each family and business to make that difference in the last minutes of an event.
Tia, we get so caught up in our day-to-day busy lives that we don't really prepare ourselves. And really, at the end of the day, it does come down to an individual responsibility of parent or parents taking care of their family and their children, and even pets are involved, which is, I guess, an element that a lot of people don't really appreciate. But you have to take care of everything, and it's something that I think everybody needs to become more sensitive to, and I hope that you'll have a great turnout Friday. And you did mention me. I guess I'll welcome everybody about 7:30. That's getting me up mighty early, Tia, but only for you. You. But we are very happy to have it here in the town of Lexington, and as Tia said, at the local Chamber of Commerce up on Main Street, right across from the Radius Church. Let me, I think you said, Paula, earlier about volunteers. Can you share with us again how somebody may become a volunteer?
Absolutely. They can go to our website, which is www.redcross.org, and click on the volunteer button, and it will guide them through everything that they need to do. Also, they can call our local number at, of course, area code 803-540-1200, and that will ask them for the volunteer coordinator, and they'll get them to the right person to start the process, to get them in there, get them checked, get them determine where they need to work, and start training.
Tia, I noticed you have a number of sponsors, and Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A seems like they're always, are there for us. So I think you're serving Chick-fil-A breakfast on Friday morning, and the event is free. Can you share with the listening audience how they might sign up, or do they just show up?
We were going to do an RSVP, but with this type of event, we really just want to encourage as many people to stop in as possible. So we will have Chick-fil-A for up to about 75 people, which we assume if all the departments show up, then that's probably about how many people we'll have. But we're going to have a lot of room in the back for people to be able to come in, and we have an agenda that we'll be posting on the Lexington Anchor. That's going to be updated soon with just the actual minutes of the speakers so that if some people want to come for the beginning or the end or whatever time they want to come, they're more than welcome to drop in. We'll also have coffee and some other light foods for them. But yeah, we'll be able to accommodate up to probably 100, 150 people. And really it's just this is the time for people to come and learn more. And we've got packets for those to take home with them. We have a hurricane guide that's excellent that the South Carolina Emergency Management Division put together. I think it's actually nationally award-winning, and it's got everything you might want to need in case of an emergency like a hurricane or anything else. So I want people just to show up, just to be able to take some of these communications materials home with them, because that's what really will make the difference. And then assuming that this event's going to be very successful, we can follow up with another event that might be all day, or do an actual symposium where we can, really fill in all the other gaps of the people that take charge in case of, an emergency that will hit the town or the state. We'd have everybody there ready to answer questions for those who want to know how to protect their family or their business.
T, I don't want to leave out any sponsors. I mentioned Chick-fil-A. We mentioned Red Cross. We also, of course, the Greater Lexington Chamber of Commerce is a sponsor. I look over here, I see the Emergency Management Division, the South Carolina Emergency Management Division. I see, of course, we know ServPro. Mm-hmm. You're the driving force here, ServPro. I also see Livingston Insurance Agency. Mm-hmm. And I see Event Management. Is that Lee Pickovich's outfit?
That is Lee Pickovich.
So I guess he's presenting some or preparing for some tents and other kind of things that he may want to do.
Yeah, he's definitely helping us. He's a great resource to get last minute materials for our events. He's helping us with a lot of the tables and just the rental equipment we need to be able to put on something like this last minute. Chamber's been awesome too to kind of tag team with these other major players. So with just a few people, we were able to put this on, really quickly, which I think shows a lot of strength for the town and our business community.
I agree. It's all about partnerships and it's all about responsiveness, and we try to do that both from the chamber. We try to do that also from the town perspective as well. But thank y'all for coming today. Y'all been a pleasure. Hopefully, all of you out there in the listening audience have found something today that can help you should a disaster hit your home or in the community, whether it be a tornado or hurricane or anything else that may be of some harm to you and your family. But this should be a very, very good symposium. I encourage everyone to try to find an opportunity to come out. And if you can't stay the whole time, like Tia said, just drop in. The hours are between 7:30 and 9:30. Again, that's at the Greater Lexington Chamber of Commerce, 311 West Main Street, across from the Radius Church. And I hope everybody, hope I see some people there I know come Friday. So thank y'all. And with that, we want to take another short break. And I want to bring in someone, Tommy Frazier, that's been involved in the preparing for the 2014 Dixie Youth World Series. Is coming to Lexington in August 2014. So stay tuned. Thank y'all.
Hi, this is Fire Prevention Officer Tony Signorino.
And this is Fire Inspector Jason Smith.
The Lexington County Fire Service wants you and your family to have a safe summer.
Install a working smoke alarm on every level of your home.
Have an emergency escape plan that includes at least 2 ways out.
Matches and lighters should be kept away, and children should never play with them.
Keep your barbecue grill clean and away from the siding of your home.
Fireworks are for adults. Never leave kids around them unsupervised.
Be safe this summer from your friends at the Lexington County Fire Service.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Buffett. How would you like to meet an endangered manatee? You can by joining Save the Manatee Club's Adopt the Manatee program. You can't take them home, but you can get to know your new manatee friend through the photo, biography, and information the club sends to you. And you can read updates on your manatee in the club newsletter. More importantly, your contribution goes to programs that are working to save manatees from extinction. It's easy to help. Call 1-800-432-JOIN.
Hi, this is Janet Altman from Oakleaf Village, an assisted living community in Lexington. Oakleaf Village offers hotel-style living and apartments with studio, 1- and 2-bedroom floor plans. Oakleaf Village accommodations include cable TV, meals, laundry, housekeeping, medication management, nursing services, as well as around-the-clock, 24/7 caregivers. Oakleaf Village. We're located between Herndon Chevrolet and Lexington Middle School. Phone 808-3477.
Welcome back, everyone, to Monday with the Mayor at high noon. And we're going to change the programmatic format a little bit. We're going to move from disaster preparedness to something that's really special that's coming here in August of 2014. And, Tommy, I'm going to ask you, what's coming to Lexington in August 2014?
We have 36 teams that's going to arrive on August the 8th for the Dixie Youth World Series. We've got 3 different divisions that's going to be coming to town. The AAA, formerly known as the Minors, the Majors Division, and the Ozone Division. It's one of the first times this will ever happen with Dixie baseball, that all 3 will be at the same place. And we're going to play from August 9th through the 14th of next summer at Ballpark Road here in Lexington.
Tommy, I probably need to give you more of a formal introduction, but I think everybody knows Tommy Frazier. If you had a child that's come up through the Dixie Youth Baseball League or any other league out there, but tell us a little bit about what you do out there at on Ballpark Road.
Well, the Recreation Aging Commission was so graceful to take me on after I retired from the state and kind of oversee the park. We prepare the fields, just general upkeep of the park, along with in cooperation, with the Recreation Department's maintenance personnel under Mr. David Hendricks, supervision. We all work together and try to keep that park up to top-notch shape.
And I think you do a fantastic
Well, thank
job,
you, sir.
Tommy.
Thank
you really
you, sir.
do. Every time I've been out there, the grass is green. There's no imperfection in the infield nor the outfield grass, and the infield area is always, I don't know what you call it, but the sand out there.
Oh, the skin. The skin.
Call it the skin.
Yes,
Well, I
sir.
played baseball
Yes,
many
sir.
years ago myself, back in junior high school, and didn't play in any high school, but ever since I was knee-high to a billy goat, I think. But I never heard it referred to as the skin.
Well, Mayor,
I've learned a new term
yes,
today,
sir.
Tom.
But we've got a fine group of young men that have taken ownership, I guess you would say, of that ballpark, and they take it personal. The upkeep on those fields, they just take it personal, and they don't mind asking you to get off if you're somewhat trespassing.
I understand. Tommy, you mentioned the World Series, but there's a lot of preparation you have to make before an event of this magnitude happens. But I think there's something very special coming to this community out at the ballpark on June the 28th. I believe it's called the Blowfish. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. We're right excited about that. Once again, the Recreation Aging Commission, and along with Lexington Dixie Baseball, we reached out to Mr. Bill Shanahan, the owner of the Blowfish, and proposed them trying to join in with us a little bit, giving us some sponsorship and some publicity on this World Series. In return, they agreed to come out and play an exhibition game out at the complex to help as a fundraiser and all, and that's going to be on the 28th. Well, along with their exhibition game, they're going to hold a clinic for all Dixie Youth players. We're going to do it throughout the county. We want this to be a county event. We want a big turnout. Any kid that played in the Dixie program throughout the county, they're more than willing to show up at 5 o'clock. We're going to do about an hour and a half clinic, separate them by age on the different fields out there, and players are going to work with them. And what makes that so great, we have got 5 young men from Lexington that are playing on the Blowfish team this year. Got 2 brothers. Matter of fact, the younger brother joined this past weekend. We've got Derek Smith from Lexington High School, who is at the College of Charleston. His younger brother, Cody. Cody just graduated and was on the state championship team under Coach Brian Hucks out there at Lexington this year. He's joined, and he's working his way through the system. We've got Josh Shealy out of White Knoll. We've got Zach Smith out of White Knoll. We've got Stuart Pound from Airport. And we've got a young man that played over at AC Flora who went to Tennessee as their catcher up there at the University of Tennessee, Mr. Hauser. He's playing with them. So we're full of local talent here playing with the Blowfish.
Anyhow, the Gamecocks are vying for another trip to the World Series, Tommy, tonight at 7 o'clock. And, based on what I saw yesterday, if it doesn't rain them out tonight, that we may have a good shot to get back to Omaha. And I would imagine some of those Blowfish, the collegiate upper-level players that play on Blowfish and others in that Coastal League, I would imagine we may have one or two of those Gamecocks over here playing as well.
Oh, yes, sir. They'll be there once they're released. Once they're released from Carolina, there'll be some of them to come back. Grant you, the coach will split them up and send them off to the various parts of the country to play ball. But I feel sure we'll have a bunch of players that come back.
Tommy, I see our time is drawing to a close here, but I want to first of all thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy day to come here and talk to us about the Dixie World Series. It's coming in 2014, but more immediate, the Blowfish that are coming here on the 28th. There again, it's a clinic starting around 5 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And then they're going to split it up, as Tommy said, and have a kind of an intra-squad baseball game starting about 7:30.
About 7:30, somewhere along there. We asked that the county turn out. Shows support for the Blowfish.
Yes, and I was going to say that, Tommy, that this is a kind of a once in a lifetime for some of those young players to come out and meet some of these stars that they see on TV playing.
Yes, sir.
So I hope everybody comes out on the 28th. In a couple weeks, we hope to have Bill Shanahan in here to talk more about the Blowfish and what he's doing to help, as Tommy said, to help raise money for the 2014 Blowfish. And by the way, I believe Hank Aaron will be in the Columbia on the 28th, I believe.
The 24th.
The 24th.
I just spoke to Mr. Shanahan before we come on air, and he wanted to tell me how excited he was about the 28th, and to remind everybody, this Wednesday night, the 24th, Hank Aaron, Capital City Stadium, love to have a big turnout.
Big crowd. I'm sure there'll be a big crowd out there. And before I sign off, I want to congratulate my youngest daughter, Brittany, and her fiance, Mark Tallwin. They're getting married up on the lake this coming Saturday. So let's hope this rain clears out. I think the forecast says a very small amount, but, during June, you don't ever know when those thunder showers are going to hit us, but nothing like we've hopefully seen the last couple of days. So with that, carry your umbrellas the next couple of days. Be safe out there on the roads, and I look forward to being back with you next week on Monday with the Mayor at high noon. Goodbye, y'all.